Alright, so welcome back into another Digimon card game video, and today I'm going to go over the deck that I took last weekend to our first BT4 locals. And the only reason why I'm doing this, because I usually don't do locals decks, is because we had a pretty big turnout at Power 9. This was actually at 55 people. It was kind of nuts. It was close to 60, which, you know, if we're looking at really laddering up, if you look at the store championships for DBS, that's 65 people there. So whatever. Either way, I got fourth. I did post on the Facebook group that I got third, but that ended up going to Louise, who did play the green Nidhogg deck. Please go check that out if you haven't already. It should be up before this video, if anything. Either way, I did play yellow WarGreymon. I think it's probably one of the best decks going into this format. And honestly, I know I play a lot of DBS and I do a lot of content for DBS, but I really do enjoy Digimon, especially going into this format. There's a lot of cool different decks. I think there's a lot of stuff to be discovered as well. And I think it's in a good place to either start or continue to play. And of course, I play or try to play other games too. I try to keep up with other games, even like right now, Vanguard and Fresh and Blood. I even want to dabble in like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, but that's something else. Either way, let's get into the deck. Let me know how your yellow builds are going. If you have any questions in the comments below, put them there. Or if you have questions, put it in the comments below. Subscribe if you are new. Let's get into it. Okay, so this was pretty much all the prizing that I got. I think this is the TP? Alt Arts? Dash Pack? One of those, I don't know. This is the TP, I know for sure. Ended up doing pretty well as far as that or those pools. I really like that one. And then we'll open up these at the end of the video after I do the deck profile. And of course, this Omnimon, what is this? Metal Greymon? Okay. And then of course this thing, which has all the promos that I've showcased on the channel before. Interesting prizing, if anything, but very cool. All right, let's start with the leader. Just kidding. We're going to look at the Digitamas. The first ones are going to be the Koromon, which if you have 3 or less, you minus 10k or 1000, and then 4 Upas. So the reason why I did this is because originally I was just playing these as proxies until I got these. But the more I played with these, the better I liked it, especially since I run Eden's Javelin. And if you run Eden's Javelin, I think you should run these instead of the Koromons. I think Koromons is probably better, maybe half the other time. If you want to minus something that is technically 7k when you swing with WarGreymon, then that's cool. If you swing and maybe want to get rid of a, I don't know, a 13k for some reason or a 9k with Slash, then this would be pretty cool too. But other than that, just having more and more options in your hand with Upamon is really, really cool. And you can just do some cool stuff as far as going from 4 to 3 and then swinging and then drawing and then using Lucamon afterwards to put it back to 4 and then just kind of do that over and over again depending on the situation. But all right, let's talk rookies. The first two are going to be these 2-drop Salamons. I think every deck should probably have a 2-cost play cost rookie. These are pretty hard to fit in. Honestly, if I had more Lucamons, this would probably be the Lucamons, or maybe at least one more, and then I don't know what else. But the 2-cost is really good. It's just super clutch just to if you're playing against Rookie Rush and you want to build your own board and you know that you're going to be attacking, or if you need that extra attack and you know you want to make sure to only put them at 1 or give them at least 2 or whatever it may be, the 2s are really, 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 really useful. I can't express that enough. And that's especially because when you play, I think I play 3 Salamons. Those kind of got mixed up. These are pretty much a staple when you come to play yellow WarGreymon. I don't think you shouldn't play these. It is annoying when this is your only rookie and you're at 5 security and you don't want to hard cast it because it's at 4. And the only good time it is good to hard cast it at 4 is if you have a tamer, you go to 3 and you want to put them at 1. They don't have their own tamer. Majority of the time they have their own tamer, or you're just not going to be in the place to put it at 4 because you're going to have more and more options that are better than that. Nonetheless, this is a 3-cost that you can play with the aandroidd that we play in the deck, and it is a good old rookie that you can just put in the hatching area and just kind of forget about it and just do your stuff on board. Here's where the money starts, and that's where the Pulsemons are. Thank you, Egg, for giving me these on time and just being a good teammate. But Pulsemon is really, really good for a number of reasons. So when you're at 3, you not only get the draw 1, but also you get the gain 1 memory. So when you actually swing with WarGreymon, you can play this if you have engine 1 below that, and then you can go ahead and draw 1 and as well as gain 1 memory. And the flip side for both of them, if you are using your tamer and you have 3 open memory, you pay to 3, you go to 1, or you go to 1 memory, and now you can play a 2 cost here or 2 cost blocker, whatever it may be. And now it's a little bit better as far as your memory management throughout the game. This one just does a lot because it just has really good utility. That's why it's a little bit more expensive. Plus it is a promo technically. So it is pretty much worth it. If you have them, play it at least 2 or 3. But yeah. All right, here's some more sauce, which are gonna be the Bushi Agumon. So these guys are really good, and I wouldn't play more than 3 of them. And the reason for that is because you kind of want to play pretty much all the other rookies. These guys, maybe even Pulsemon within your hatching area. And of course the next one, which is Patamon, is going to be your best bet for when it comes to inheritables and as well as the hatching area. But Bushi Agumon is just really good, and it just kind of warps what you think about yellow and what it's kind of turned into. With Woman, this becomes, if you have 2 of them, 4 different attacks with the WarGreymon, right? You're swinging with the WarGreymon twice, you're playing out these guys if you have 3 or less security, if you have 2, and if you have Woman, which is pretty much the thing that you want to do. But the whole thing about the deck are all of these level 3s in which you get to play this guy for draw and memory, this little thing with the recovery after you go to 3, and then you can swing with it the next turn, and then this guy with the rush in order to win you out the game. But because we play the Blinding Rays, which is going to be a staple in a lot of yellow decks that are playing this type of deck, you can pretty much use your tamer, and if you have 1 attack on board, they're at 1 or 2 or whatever it may be. Basically, this gives you that extra attack where you Blinding Ray, you go to 5, you play out the Bushi, you swing, and you swing for game. I've done that probably 3 times at least to win the game within that tournament, which we had 6 rounds. Which I'll talk about the matchups in a little bit. But that is why he's so good. We have Patamon with the game 1 memory whenever you minus something. This is going to be the premier inheritable rookie, if anything, not really much to say. And then 1 Lucimon. So if I had more Lucimon, I only pulled 1 out of my box, I would play him. But if you have at least 2, I would play it in this deck. Make room for it. Maybe take out Salamon or one of these Salamons, like I said before, or even a Patamon. Honestly, the Patamons are good, but it's sort of like it's dispendable. And honestly, you can play 3 Pulsemon, but I think people will kind of argue with those ratios. Either way, find a way to put 3 of these guys in, or 2 got these guys in there. I think 3 is too many. That is just my opinion. Same thing with Bushi at 4 is just too many because of the higher cost of what you're paying for the play cost and as well as the requirements, which it only becomes what, a 5 cost if you have 10 or more in the drop later into the game. But Lucimon is really good because when you're at 3 or well, it really doesn't matter when you are where you at. But if you do play it with the Ancient Woman's effect, then you're at 3 or less. You go back to 4, and now you can do the same effect with WarGreymon by putting yourself down to 3 and then doing it all over again. And just overall recovery is just really good in yellow. That really has not changed at all. Patamon for the 1 cost blocker. I actually think I might go down to 2 with these guys and then put in another 2 of the Unimons. And the reason for that is because of the 5k. Yes, you do have the 1 cost blocker. Yes, it's cool as a cheap blocker, and yes, it is 1 memory, but I humbly will disagree with most people playing it at 4 because of the 6k that Unimon gives you. They both swing and lose 2 memory. I think in this deck, yes, it's important for memory cost, but I think it's even more important to survive the Rookie Rush matchup and just people just having the 5k beaters or even 6k beaters, which, you know, the other champions, which, you know, you can block and clash with those. And Rookie Rush was my only loss. Shout out to John Mendoza. And then we also have of the bunny. I can never say his name, but 4-cost bunny. It's just really good as a champ. I mean, there's not really much to say, just cheap, really good. I have 4 of the WarGreymons, and then 4 of the aandroids. I think you can probably play 9 level 5s, or sometimes where I just didn't find a level 5 and it just really made or break the game. And it was just really annoying. But these guys are really good. Not only that, this prevents an attack for any of the Digimon that they may have. They either have to swing into like another Digimon, or just not swing at all. But the inheritable is what you want, which is the 3 or less. You swing and you get to play a level 3 or lower, or a level 3 yellow Digimon out of your hand, which basically is all the stuff that I talked about before. And then WarGreymon is a lot of the yellow removal that we know and love, in which basically you get to Digiburst minus 4k, one of the things on their end. You basically only do it once. Basically with him you can minus 4k something and then go into slash if you'd like to. And of course you have the WarGreymon. It just depends on what kind of board they have. They might have a 4k on their end in which you use a Digiburst, and then you minus that, get rid of that, and then you go into the WarGrey, you swing with it, and then you go ahead and minus something 6k afterwards. It's a little bit of math, but that's what yellow is. I mean, that's all it is really. And then slash gives you the option to minus something 12k, in which you go 4k here and then 8k for the slash. No need to talk about either one. They do their jobs really well. And we go into the level 6s here, in which we have the slash that I was talking about before. You get rid of 12Ks. That's basically what he does. He gets rid of blockers as well. And he does have the option to go into aandroidd and then into slash as well. So if you go to here, prevent an attack, pass the next turn, you minus something like a blocker if they're trying to block, or an 8k or less, and then you swing with it. And then if you're at 3 or less, now you can still go ahead and use the effect to go into Bushy or to Pulse or any of those guys. All right, a couple of things that people may not play, but I like, because I was just missing things. So I was just like, what is good in what could be good in this deck? It's going to be Magna. I did hard cast it, which I don't think is the play. I think you still can go into aandroidd, go into 3 and then swing. And then technically, because of this, it says you may play a level 3 cost from your hand without paying his memory cost. And same thing for this if you're at 3 or less. So now you can still get the double effect that WarGreymon gets you, in which you take a life, you swing. This doesn't have once per turn. You can play up to 2. And then if you really need to, then on play effects, I think I played it against a couple different decks, like green or something, and it didn't go too badly. Same thing for Megazoo, which I think this is a pretty good matchup as long as you don't brick. And then Puppetmon saves you games. Like late game, Puppetmon is the beast. I really do like it at 1. I think I'm forever gonna keep it even in this build when I do update it. But that's pretty much it. I mean, it just prevents an attack, prevents everything from restanding. The only thing that's really bad against is Imperial, and that's pretty much it. I think maybe Imperial and maybe Lobo. Yeah, that's like blue. Okay, Blinding Ray. So, I didn't go over the last thing, but I had 1 Chaosmon. I think you should play it at 2. That's the only change that I would make in this slot. And he's really good. I mean, you get rid of a 14k or 2 7ks. You gain 3 memory when it gets deleted. If you get Cocytus Breath, then you may cry. That's pretty much it. But it's a 14k beat stick that can proc off for aandroidd, and pretty much nothing else other than maybe this guy, which you have a 15k instead of a 14k. Okay, lastly is going to be the Blinding Rays, Eden's Javelin, and then 3 TKs. So 3 is the right amount, I want to say. You could probably play 4. 3 is definitely the right amount for Blinding Rays. You want to see it, but you don't want to see it, as in, you know, swing into your security kind of see it, and you see 2 of them like I did within the tournament. That was really bad. And then Eden's Javelin is really good, just like I said. With the Upamon, you're drawing a lot. You're drawing with this. You have the security effects. You're going to have a big hand, and you have the option to minus random things. As in, if you go into slash, go into 0, 8k, and you want to get rid of Omnimon, then you go to 8K and then use Eden Javelin right after. Now you don't have to worry about Omnimon. You know, it's that type of thing if people still play that deck. But people did play that deck. It was really annoying. That's pretty much the deck, other than Lucimon, Chaosmon, and maybe changing around the ratios and even adding another Eden's Javelin. That's pretty much the deck. Experiment what you want. Check it out, try it out, and let me know in the comments below. But as I open these guys up, I will go over the matchups. Let's see, it was 6 rounds. The first round was green. He was a bit new, so I didn't really count that one. A Metal Garurumon. Oh, that's pretty good. Second round was blue, yellow, Megazoo. That was pretty easy. I don't think he's ever faced the deck and didn't really know what was going on until I pretty much killed him like turn 3 or 4 for both rounds or both games. Black WarGreymon, not too bad. Third round was Red Omni. I think that was John. Same thing I was talking about before for Eden's Javelin, and as well as just playing to your memory. If you have a TK, play the TK as soon as possible. Give them 3 if you can, and then just from there, play your memory. Then it was Mendoza's Rookie Rush. That was my only loss as we open up Azudamon. And then we also had round 5 Lobomon, which is the blue-green version. And the last round was Tibsby, which was Needhog. And honestly, the blue-green stuff, you just have to play smart. You kind of have to outplay your opponent. If you make a mistake, you're probably gonna lose. And then green, I still think is kind of a 50-50. Don't play into their Needhog, and just make sure that you aren't keeping too many things suspended. Just make them suspended, and then do damage within 1 turn if you can. That's pretty much it. Let me know in the comments below. I know I went through it quite a lot, but that's kind of my thing. If you want the list, it's always in the description. I probably took a picture of it so that way you can take a peek, and then I will see you in the next one.